What's up, guys? Garrett with self.dev. Today we are looking at some more resumes, giving you guys some feedback, and hopefully getting you on a better track to getting a good job. So let's get going. First one up here is from Lewis. So first off, I've never been a big fan of the objective section. Usually when recruiters and people are looking at resumes, they'll spend like 6 to 7 seconds on it. That statistic is from like a few years ago, I believe. So the time is probably shorter now. Like our attention spans have shrunk thanks to TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts. But anyway, I don't think you should waste time with an objective statement. You want to like highlight the high points, and that's it pretty much. But yeah, where the high points are your skills and then the projects down here. I might put, I forget, there was more computer science degrees, so I might put your projects above the education here if you're going for a web developer job, which I'm assuming you are because you say front-end developer here. The projects are going to be more important than the education then, because this is like stuff you've actually built. This is like proof that you know what you're doing, and this is just like, hey, I went to college. The related courses are kind of, they're relevant, but like you could just be saying you took those courses. There's no like proof, you know? As far as your projects, I'd change who this page is about, especially since you live in California. If you know what I mean. The animation project, fix this. Make that not happen. It should just continue to go all the way across like that. I shouldn't have to move my thing. It should just do that on its own. That's almost as annoying as the issue a lot of websites have that like bad developers built is there will be like a div or some element, and when there's no border on it, and when you hover over it, it adds like a 2-pixel border, and because there was no border before, it shifts the content on the page a little bit, and it's just super cringe. As far as the text here, I don't feel like the spacing is consistent between this first line and the second. I feel like all of the spacing between there and the rest of these is not consistent, so figure out how to fix that. Also, the text on here a little bit. So like recreated a modern web page with, that should be lowercased. A clean header and footer, as well as inserted images and icons, making sure the web page is responsive. Cool. There was another place you did that too. Yeah, using the lowercase, the T there. And then I think, was there one where there was a period and there didn't need to be? A complete survey form using, yeah, the period doesn't need to be there because that's still the same sentence, right? Like a complete survey form using the various fundamentals of HTML and CSS. I compiled a straight, you need a period there after the HTML and CSS. That's when the new sentence starts. You don't need a period after look because tables by itself is not a complete sentence. Just got to work on the grammar and like the, you know, that stuff a little bit there. Also, I would build a portfolio because I don't see a link to your portfolio on here. Yeah, put a link to your portfolio and your GitHub. I think the links here went to Code Sandbox or Code Pen, one of those two. I would build or like take the code, build the local version, and then push the code to GitHub. So you have stuff on your GitHub, and then build a portfolio where you've got all those projects on it so they can like see it on your portfolio, because that's your real resume as a web developer, your portfolio. Like resume is like you have to send that in so they can get your information, but like they're gonna want to see your portfolio, make it look awesome, build like cooler, bigger, better projects, because a lot of these projects, like they're good first projects, but like the animation project, that's just like super basic. If that's all you've got, keep it on there. Just like build bigger, cooler, better stuff to replace it with soon. But yeah, that's my feedback on that one. So yeah, let's keep going. Next one here. The software is highlighting some stuff in pink, and I think that's because I didn't have the font available. I'm not sure why highlighting it in pink solves that issue, but whatever. So same thing as the last one. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the summary. I think when I was trying to when I was like, had this as the PDF, I don't think Twitter and Medium went to anywhere. I don't think those were actual links. So might need to fix that. Front-end developer, technical support engineer. So those are the roles you're going for, I'm assuming. Link the same thing with the projects and GitHub here. I don't think those were linked up. So make sure you host those projects somewhere that they can go to and kind of like play around with it. Like Code Sandbox, Code Pen, or GitHub Pages. And link that up to the GitHub pages, and then add a link to, oh, you do have a link to your GitHub on here, but Was there a portfolio? I don't think there was a portfolio link. So build that, add that on here. I like how you have your skills separated out, like front end skills, tools, and methods. Yeah, I guess mobile responsive development is kind of a method. I was kind of like, why does he have methods on there? But I guess that kind of makes sense. Professional, remote pair programming, teamwork, mentoring, Googling. Googling is a skill. Yeah, it is. Support service. I don't know if I'd have the professional part on there. You might could just get rid of that. What was that? I don't want to move the big white square on the page. Highlighted personal projects. Yeah, like I was saying, just link those up so they can see a live demo of it. Built with HTML, CSS, Jest, GitHub. Nice. Doing some testing. Good. I'd put that React project first because that's got React and that's got more skills than these other two. So that's probably like of higher importance than the others. The color might just be off on my thing here, but the color of this sentence doesn't look like it matches the rest of those. So if that is not consistent, fix that, because consistency is like one of the big things to check for on resumes. Like then the period here, like you have a period at the end of the sentence, no period, no period, period, no periods. If you're gonna use, like, just make it consistent, you know? Review projects, I don't think the P needs to be capitalized there. Remote, present. So you're still doing all of these? Wait, that doesn't make, is the dating correct on these? Or are you still doing all 4 of these roles? I think you had another one. I don't know if that had present on it as well, but if you're, make sure those dates are correct, because I don't know if you're doing 5 jobs or 4 jobs at once. Mentor junior devs, cool. Yeah, mentoring is good to have on there. Are these actual, I don't think these aren't actual web developer jobs, right? Yeah, because if these were actual web developer jobs, then they would carry more weight than your personal projects. But if they're not actual web developer jobs, yeah, you got it in the right order. I would try reducing the space between each one of these jobs a little bit, because you had a second page, and like I said, they're usually going to spend like 6 to 8 seconds glancing over your resume. So you want to have everything in one page if possible, so they don't have to flip to another one. They can just glance at it, see the high points, be like, okay, this dude looks qualified. He's got some cool projects. Let's invite him in for an interview. But yeah, I think that's about it for this one. So just work on the consistency. Check those links to Twitter and Medium, because those didn't work. You have a GitHub link, but build a portfolio and link the portfolio up. Get live demos of those projects. And then, did I say consistency already? I might have said consistency already with periods. Just double check the grammar and then try to make it one page too. So sweet, on to the next one. All right, let's zoom in a little bit here. So before I get too deep into this one, I want to like just double, oh shoot, was I zoomed in enough on that? And that one too? I might not have been zoomed in enough on this one. Oh, well. Yeah, before I get too deep into this one, I want to make sure, like, I'm coming at this from a perspective of somebody in the West, like in the States. So I think this guy was from India, so my opinion might be invalid on yours, because I don't know what resumes are supposed to look like in India. But you got your name, you got your address, email, phone number, that stuff. Were you going, I assume you're going for web developer position, because you have like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python here. So I assume you're going for like some kind of like dev role. If you are, build a portfolio, and oh, nope, we need to keep that there. Yeah, build a portfolio. Put your code on GitHub, build some projects, because you don't have any projects. Yeah, you got full stack web development. Based on this stuff, you're going for like web developer or data scientist, something like that, right? I guess I could read your objective, huh? To be a successful professional in a global respected company and achieve, that's useless. I would just get rid of that. I don't like how we have the courses framed here. Percentage wise, 66%, 70, 80, 80. Those aren't super high. I could be wrong, because I don't know how like GPAs and stuff like that work in India. But in like here in the States, I would, if it's not in the top 5 to 10%, I probably wouldn't put it on your resume. So like if these were making like 92, 95, 98%, then I would put those on there. But not being in like the top 10%, I would probably get rid of that. And then again, this might just be like a cultural difference, but like the secondary school, I don't know if I would put those on there. Like in the States, putting your high school on your resume is not important. The colleges, yeah, those are important. I'd keep those on there. I'm assuming that's like Bachelor of Science, Master's in Science. And then same thing as before, like you want to try to keep your resume on one page because they're not going to spend a lot of time looking at it. So yeah, just getting rid of the high school, and there's like these bottom two would help condense our resume a little bit. Technical knowledge. Again, this might just be like a cultural thing because I'm not super up to date on like the differences between the culture of the West and India, right? But like operating systems, it's kind of like assumed that you'd have experience with that here. There, probably, I don't know, maybe not. So that might be relevant, might not. Programming languages, you have that on there twice, right? So we've got like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, and then HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python. I don't know if we should have those on there twice, maybe just get rid of the areas of interest section. That'll help shrink our resume down a little bit so we can try to get this all on one page. Or just get rid of this line and just keep the areas of interest, except also rename areas of interest to languages or skills, something like that, because these aren't really areas of, I guess they're kind of areas of interest, but they're more like language, like programming languages, you know, like at least JavaScript and Python are. Also consistency, these are indented and it should be like right here, right? Like for consistency. Applications, cool. I'd get some experience with like VS Code or like some text editor and put that on there too, because that's pretty easy to get. Personal strengths, these are just like corporate buzzwords pretty much. Those aren't, I'd get that, I'd take that off. Those are just like corporate buzzwords to sound good. Certifications, if you can link those up, I would do that. I think like Udemy gives you a certificate, or Google might give you a certificate. If they do, hyperlink those so they can just click on it, go look at your certificate and like see like, okay, cool, he actually got this. He's not just sticking this on his resume just cause. Personal details, I've seen that on a lot of Indian resumes that I get, so I assume that that's relevant and you need to keep that, but I would unindent that so it's consistent with the bullet points here, maybe. Or if you don't need it, just get it off there. Date, there's no date. I guess I assume you add that whenever you send your resume in, so maybe that's why that's there. Otherwise, I would get rid of that. Place, maybe that's like where you're applying or like where you're trying to get a job. I don't know if you have to have that or not. If you don't have to have that, I'd get rid of it. When you're applying to jobs, usually they're going to assume that you live within like where that job is. And then your name there. I've seen that on a bunch of other Indian resumes too, so maybe that's needed. But you've got your name up here in the top left as well, so I don't know if you need that in two places. I don't think that's particularly needed. But yeah, so just work on the consistency, try to shrink it down to where it's one page. Or, you know, like I said, my opinion on this might be invalid because I'm in the West and you're in India, but who knows? Right, sweet. Well, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. If you need me to review your resume, my email's in the description. Feel free to shoot me your resume and I will try to give you some feedback on it next time I make a video like this. And just be cool with it being in a video, because I'm going to make a video on it that's like, I'm not just doing this for free, I'm doing this for content for YouTube. I will try to redact information that I feel like personally identifies you to make it like more private, but just know that it might be in a video. What else? If you want to get my resume template, the one I used before I had any tech experience when I was trying to get a tech job, look in the description. I'll have a way you can get that as well. And also check out selftaught-dev.com. I'm working on rebuilding it right now and making all the projects free, but there are a few projects on there if you need like practice projects to build as an aspiring web dev. And then lastly, come check out the Discord or we actually recently took over the SelfTaughtDev subreddit, so check that out too. Discord links in the description if you want to come talk to me or my other admin or other aspiring devs in there. And I think that's about it. So everybody have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Peace.
Round one.